everyone, today I'm going to attempt to show you how I do a doll reroute, and I'm not planning on doing a full reroute because honestly I haven't got the time. Last time I did a full doll reroute it took me around 2 weeks to get it finished, so yeah, I'm not going to do that today. So this is Rapunzel I got in a bundle the other day, and when she came she'd had her hair cut. It was, you know, around shoulder length, maybe a bit longer still. Anyway, what I decided to do was to remove her hair altogether and to give her the short brown hair that she has at the end of the Tangled DVD. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I have done this before, but not many times, so I'm a bit of an amateur at it. Anyway, the first thing I've done is to cut her hair as close to her head as possible, so that it's easier to pull through when you get to this stage, because the next thing we need to do is to get this hair out of her head altogether, and in order to do that I'm going to use a crochet hook to get in there and scrape the inside of her head to try and get this hair out. It's not a 5-minute job, but yeah, it's the whole thing altogether of rerouting a doll is a tedious process, I'm afraid. Some people enjoy it, but I'm afraid I'm not one of those people that enjoys it. I prefer to glue the hair directly to the doll's head or to make her a wig, but I did say I would have a go at making a reroute video, so here I am having a go. Yeah, so literally just scrape. This doll has got so much glue in her head. Her hair was really gluey as well. What was left of her hair, it felt really sticky and gooey. So yeah, that's on her head is still a bit gooey, and when it's like that it's harder to get out. I am struggling to get it out from the inside of her head, but you can see it is coming eventually. Yeah, so you just do that until you've got all of the hair out. Okay, so I have removed all of the hair and glue from Rapunzel's head, and this is what I was left with, a big pile of really sticky. There was more of that inside her head than there was left outside of her head. And I have now given her head a really good wash with hot soapy water to get all that gunk and glue out, so that when I come to reroute her I won't end up with a sticky needle that's sticking to the glue that was left. There's nothing inside her head now. I've got rid of it all, and so now I can get rid of my piece of paper without leaving a mess anywhere. And there are two ways two ways I know of rerouting a doll's hair. You can use a routing tool, which is like this, and what this is, it's one I've made myself, and I've made it from a this is a scalpel handle, and what I've done, I've cut a needle, the eye of a needle at an angle with my wire cutting tool. Let me show you. Yeah, cut it at an angle like this, so that you get one bit longer than the other. Be careful when you're doing that. And then you pop the needle into the handle and close it. Here we go, that's it. Yeah. And then what you can do is you get a piece of hair, like so, tiny bit of the hair you're going to use, and slide it into the middle part like this, and then you literally just poke it into the doll's head. So yeah, you can poke it in just like that. There you are. You see that? And you would continue to do that until you've gone into all of the holes. Now another way you can do it is how I'm going to do it now, is you can thread the hair through the eye of a needle, a long needle, and you can then thread the needle through the doll's head and through the holes like so. Because I don't want to end up with a lot of glue left inside her head again, I'm going to do it this way, and bring your needle up through one of the holes, press it down on the desk so it comes through like so, so the hair's there, and then at the end of the hair here I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to tie a double knot so that it won't come through the hole as well, and so that I haven't got to then glue the hair at the end. So yeah, I'm just tying a knot in that hair there like so, and then pull it through. Okay, and she doesn't need long hair, Rapunzel doesn't. This hair that I've got is pretty long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it to about there, because she's only having short hair, because she's this is going to be the wedding Rapunzel with the dark hair, and then I can reuse that bit. It's still threaded onto my needle, so tie your double knot in the end. But this rerouting doll's hair is a very time consuming job. Honestly, it takes ages. But anyway. Yeah, so pull and then pull that through. So then we've got two bits there. I'll cut that to the same length as that one. Yeah, and just continue, literally continue like that until you've gone through every hole in the head. Yeah, so you can either do it with a needle or you can do it with the tool. You can actually buy the tools ready-made from eBay, or like I say, this is the handle of a scalpel. I've taken the blade of the scalpel out and I've put in my needle, which I've cut the eye at an angle so that I can catch the hair in there and poke it into the doll's head. Yeah, so let's do that again. So here I have this really long brown hair. It's way longer than I need, so I'm doing tiny thin little bits that I'm then doubling. So I'm cutting off just one hair plug, if you like, then I'm threading it through the eye of my needle until it's half and half. Then we go tie the end in a double knot. It's probably easy to tie the knot before you put the needle through the doll's head, actually, isn't it? Yeah, why don't I think of it? Yeah, tie your double knot. 1, 2. Yeah, then in we go again. This is the I'm doing her parting at the moment, and this is where her hair will be parted. Okay, so here's Rapunzel, and she's been rooted all the way around the front of her hairline, and I've also rooted her part line, rerouted it with the needle and the hair. And then what I've done then is I've given up rooting her hair because it's driving me up the pole and it takes forever, and I've started gluing it directly to her head, the bits that you know that aren't going to show. And I've done this before with wigs and it works fine, it stays on, it's brilliant. So yeah, so as you can see, I've just got this little bit left to do now, and all I'm doing is, let's make sure I get it ready, because this hair is a lot longer than I need. Once I've glued the top piece on, I then cut it to the length that I want it, and I'm left with a piece then like this on the top. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is make sure I've got my bit. Let's see, her face is there, so I want it to come back like that, so I'm going to put it at this angle. So here's her head. I'm going to put some hot glue on there. I'm just using my hot glue gun. You don't have to use your hot glue gun. You can use, there are other glues that you can use. Elmer's glue, I think, is one you can use, but I like the hot glue gun because it dries so quickly. Yeah, and really, just glue the hair onto the head. That's exactly what I'm doing. And then I'm going over the top of it as well with my glue gun. Just like spreading a little bit over the top to hold any stray hairs down. And doing that as well will help to hide, you know, you won't end up with bald patches. Yep, this is how I like to make my wigs, is with a hot glue gun. It really is. Okay, so that's that all glued onto there. Now I'm going to cut this again to the same length as the rest of it. So just cut that across there, because I haven't finished cutting the hair to the right length yet. There's still quite a bit to cut. So I'm going to again glue another piece of hair across there where I've just done it. So another bit glued on there where there's just a little tiny patch left. Now then, I've got some there that's not glued on very well, so I'm going to hold it like that, and I'm going to glue it on with my glue gun on the top again. Just spread the glue out and press it down as you do it. Just gently press it down and glue it as you go in. That's it, and it'll hold it onto the rest. It looks messy, but once you're done, honestly, it'll look fine. There we go. Just press it down, and if you do get a few stray bits, you can just nick them off with your scissors. There we are. Right, so hold that down until it's there we are. And then what we need to do is give her hair a boil wash and style it. So that's what I'm going to go and do now. I'm going to go and put her hair under the hot kettle and put it in its style, and then I can cut it to the length that I want it. And I never actually used all of that. What it was a hair extension that cost me around £3 it cost me. And it was quite long, so I was able to get two lengths of hair out of each thing, because I doubled each plug in the needle, as I showed you before, and I've still got quite a bit left. Not that I'll use it for anything, I don't think, unless of course I find little bits on here that could do with like an extra. For example, there's a little piece there that could do with a little bit more on. So I've got a little bit of spare hair there. So a little blob of glue. And then stick on the hair. Just try to make sure there's no bald pieces. And I've actually done doll's hair with yarn the same way, just literally gluing it straight to the head. Yeah, I'll try and do a tutorial on that another day. So yeah, so I'm gonna go and boil wash her and see if I can style her hair. Yeah. Okay, so Rapunzel's had her boil wash, and what I've done is I've styled her hair how I want it, roughly how I want it, and I've put it in a little bobble at the back there to try and hold it in place a bit until it's dry. It actually is drying really quickly, I'm amazed. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is just cut it just above that bobble, I think, because that's more the length of hair that she would have. Yeah, so I might leave that to dry overnight, and then hopefully it will stay in its position. Well, you know, once it's dry. Maybe I'll have to put a bit of gel on it or something. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, that's where we are so far. Okay, so here's Rapunzel all finished with her dress on, and I'm really happy with her. I think she looks fantastic. Now, this is not the dress that she wears in the film, but it is very similar, and I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with how she's come out. I mean, yeah, her hair looks choppy at the back. That's how it is in the film. It's meant to look choppy, and so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how she came out. Yeah. Really happy with it. And if you wanted your doll's hair to be tidier than this, see, it looks fine to me. You can't see any of the glue through it or anything. But if you know, if you're not such a lazy bones like me, you could have just rerouted the whole head. But believe me, it takes forever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.